Hi, I'm Paige, and today I'm going to be making a Miniteen inspired tote bag. On my TikTok, I've shown me crocheting all the squares, so if you wanted to go check those out, those will be on my TikTok. But in this video, I'll show you like all the squares that I made, and then it's going to be just me constructing the bag. If you want, also, I have all of the grid patterns I made for the squares in a Pinterest board, and I linked that in the description in case you want to make your own. And then in the grid pattern, I didn't add like the faces because I used felt to make all of those. So if you follow the grid, and then you can kind of just like see the patterns I made for all the faces in the squares using the felt, and then maybe that'll help you recreate it if you want to. Before I show all the squares, I do just want to let you guys know, in case you wanted to make them, or if you can't like read the grids all too well, each square I made was 24 by 24 stitches, and I used a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. It's a 0. It says a 4/0. It's so small. I don't know if you can see. If I did like a 24 by 24 square with the crochet hook I like to use, which is like a 5.25, which is an I, they would have turned out huge. So I wanted the bag to be a decent size, but not too big. So that's why I sized the hook down super low. And the yarn I used is all medium weight yarn, so it just makes the squares, I feel, like a perfect size for a bag, especially because you're gonna have multiple next to each other. And another thing, some of these, like, look, I used the same yarn. Why is this bigger? But I feel like at the end it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna sew them all together. But again, that's why I use such a small hook, because I didn't want the squares to turn out too big. But still, no one's perfect. This one turned out way bigger than the other ones, and that's okay. So far, I only have all the squares made. I haven't connected any of them. I also want to go to Joann's or Michael's and find like a cute fabric to put inside once I've sewn them all together. And I think I want like a white strap for it. So I'll show you all of the squares in the orders I made them. I made them just in order of the members' ages, and then I made like the letter ones after. So first, here's Sungchol's little, and if I say any of these names wrong for these characters, I'm sorry, but Sungchol's little like Choi Cherry, I think that's how you say it. Here's his. And then Junghan's. His is like Jong Toram, I think. Again, I might be saying these wrong, but his is one of my favorites. It's so cute. And then Joshua's, his is Shua Sumi. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Might be wrong, so sorry. And then June's is this one. This square is, it's 2 squares technically, but it is my favorite. I loved making this one. Also, the like open close lock keychains, I have them. I don't know if you can see it, but like I have 3 June pickets, and so I have them all like with, it's kind of hard to see. I have 3 June pickets because he's one of my biases. Sungchol and June are my biases, and so I have each of them like hanging off of the pickets with the little covers that match. I love open, close, and lock. I remember when the 17 artist merch like went live, I was trying to buy them so quick. They sold out literally before I could click buy. But then thankfully they restocked them, and I was able to get them the second time around. So that's why these are my favorite. And then Hoshi's, Tam Tam, everyone's fave. I feel like this, he is so cute. I feel like this is, I'm gonna say this about every square, but like I love all of them. And they were also fun to make. And then Wanwoo's, it's like Fox Dungy. Again, I don't know if I'm saying these names right, so sorry, but I feel like his is super cute too. Here's Woozy's, Pyopuli. This one was super hard to make the grid for because he's like a little ball of like rice, I think. And I was trying to look up like inspo grids like of clouds or like fluffy things. This is the closest I could get, so I hope that it somewhat looks like him. I feel like it looks a little bit like it. And here's Ming Hao's little Deepali. His grid was so easy to make because I feel like there's 1,000 frog grids on Pinterest that you can draw inspo from. Here's DK's dog Doa. I feel like before I drew this little outline on it because before I feel like you couldn't really tell what it was. It was kind of just like a tan blob. So I kind of went in and just tried to like draw with a Sharpie the ear definition, and I feel like it makes it look a little more like a dog. Here's Mingyu's Kimja. This was another easy grid because it's literally a potato. It's it's just a blob. And you know what? Even though it's just a blob, I feel like it looks like him a little bit. Like I was trying to, because he has little arms. I was trying to like add little arms, but in the end, I just went with a potato. Here's Sungkwan's. It's like Bugyoli. This one was so hard. Like not the grid itself, like just an orange was easy with the little leaves, but the felt was hard because he has this little tag that says boo on the side, and I couldn't cut that out of felt. So I tried to just like cut a white piece of felt and then color like red inside to look a little bit like it. I hope it looks okay. But from far back you kind of can't tell, just when you get a little closer. I think it's cute though. And then we're almost to the end. Here's Nonver, Vernon's little guy. Honestly, I don't really know what he's supposed to be. He's like a little guy dressed as a bear. He's cute. And here's Dino's Chandali. He is another one of my favorites, and I think I'm just a little biased because Dino's one of my bias wreckers. But this one was super fun to make because the little otter is so cute. Are you joking? And I loved the felt. I feel like just added to it. It makes it way cuter. And then I made a bongbongy one. There was a couple grids on Pinterest of bongbongy, but none that fit the like 24 by 24 squares that I made for all of these. So I kind of just made my own, and you cannot tell that the diamond is up here because the blues are so similar, but you can kind of see it. Like if you look at it from certain angles, but I think it's cute. And then the last couple are just S, an S, a V, and a T. Just because I had to have 18 squares. So that's why I added a bongbongy and the 3 SVT letters. Just so I could have 9 for the front and 9 for the back. And the OCL square counts as 2 squares. So that also helped. So now I just want to figure out like the configuration of what squares I want on what sides. And then I'll sew them together, and then I'll probably go shopping to find a cute liner and a cute strap for them. Here's what I have the front looking like so far. I wanted to have the SVT on the front, and I wanted to have like all my favorite squares on the front, especially June and Sungchul since they're my biases. But I feel like it almost might be too much blue because both of these are blue and they're like touching each other. I wanted them to like this, where the blue and the pinks aren't touching, but I don't know how to really do that with the 17 still being in order, so I might have to reconfigure this one. But here's what I have for the back. I feel like this one looks good, like no colors are touching each other, and I feel like just the pattern of it looks cute. So this might be set. I just have to maybe reconfigure the front. I tried rearranging the front, but still somehow the blues always end up touching each other. I feel like I might just have too many blue squares, so I might have to trade one out for like a white background square. I just don't know which one to pick now though, because I feel like this one, the back looks nice, so I don't want to mess up the back to fix the front. I don't know what to do. I also just realized that because I made each letter square a different background color, no matter what square I put here, it's gonna match one of the backgrounds of the letters. So I might just leave it like this, like how I had it originally, and just go for it. Because I think this still looks cute. Because again, no matter what square I put here, it's gonna match one of them. So I think this looks cute, I've decided. So here's the front and the back. Now that I figured out what I want the back and front to look like, I'm gonna sew them together on here with just some white thread. And then once I'm finished with that, I'll probably go to Michael's or Joann's and figure out what kind of fabric I want for the inside. The front and back are now sewn together, so I'm gonna flip them right sides together and sew along here. And then on the top, I also might add like just one more round of single crochets of white maybe, just to give it like a finished edge on top. Joann's to get the fabric, and knowing now that all of the Joann stores are closing, I would have bought more, but I literally didn't know they were closing until that day. And then all that was left to do was sew the fabric together, sew it into the bag, and sew the straps on, and then it was done. Now that I have the liner all finished and the handles sewn on, I'm just gonna sew it inside the bag, and then it'll finally be finished. And here's the finished product. I love how it turned out. It's honestly one of my favorite bags I've ever made, if not my favorite bag I've ever made. Also, here's me showing how much I could fit into it if I ever took it to a concert, which it probably wouldn't even be able to go into a venue because it's not clear, but I fit like a couple pickets inside, and I put my light sticks inside. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more, right now on my TikTok I am doing a series of me making carrot bond covers of the Miniteen characters. So I've only made Nonvers, Chandelis, and I've made Open, Close, and Lock. And so if you wanted to go request a character, you can go see what character I'm making next over there. The next video is probably going to be a very delayed video of me making my 17 concert outfit for their last tour, or I have a 17 vendor event this coming Saturday. Next is a Minwon event, so it'll be like a lot of Mingyu, Wanwu stuff, as well as the other members. So if you wanted to see more 17 crochet or just K-pop crochet in general, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.